everybody. Good morning. Oh my gosh, I'm trying to get my camera straight here. Good morning, you guys. I'm so excited. We are going to have the one and only fabulous Sammi Tucker here in just a second. I'm trying to get everything situated with my camera. Hope everybody's Thursday is off to a fabulous start. And let me see here if we can get her on. And okay, Sammi, I think you just popped on. Go ahead and ask to be added, honey, and then we can go ahead and add you and get this party started. Oh, that's good stuff. Oh my gosh. Hey, Mikkel, how are you doing? Oh my gosh, we got people jumping on because they know Sammi's going to be on. Okay, as soon as we get Sammi on here, we can get started. This is going to be so much fun, you guys. You're going to love this. Do-do-do. Okay, we love tech, we love tech, we don't love tech. It's taken just a couple minutes, but I promise you guys, Sammi Tucker's coming. It's gonna be fabulous, you guys. She is up to so much awesomeness. You guys are gonna love it. Oh, that's amazing. The beautiful Chardonnay invented a creamer for me today. I just feel like my entire camera just looks crooked to me. Oh well. I'm not the important one. Sammi is. Okay, darling. Thanks, guys, for your patience. Sammi, honey, are you able to get on? Let me know if you're having any problems. Hey guys, thanks for your patience. I see you guys popping on. Thank you, thank you. We're just trying to get Sammi on here live so we can get this party started if I don't knock my phone over. Let's see. Let me see if I can message. Oh, yes! I think it's gonna happen, people.
Oh, holy moly. Am I on?
You're on! You're on.
I don't know. I was starting a watch party. I was doing all sorts of crazy stuff, but I couldn't see how to get added on. So I'm so glad that I finally made it.
So did you start a watch party for this so we can get everybody on here?
Well, I did, and then I had to cancel it because when I started it, I couldn't actually hear you on the video anymore. I don't know.
Oh, that's not good.
I need a 10-year-old to walk me through this stuff. Seriously.
Me too. It's not just you. Hey, Chardonnay, would you be willing to start a watch party? Chardonnay's gonna start, and we've got all of us have a ton of people together, so that'll work.
Yeah.
Would you be willing to start a watch party?
I'm gonna mute this. All right, good. So now I've got my laptop in front of me so that I can see the comments and stuff too. So.
Oh, yes, good, fantastic. Yeah. So awesome. Well then, let's go ahead and get this party started. Oh, hey, hi, Jeremy. Marie, look, oh my gosh, girl, all your people are tuning in. This is fabulous.
Oh, yay, I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
You know, we are so wonderful.
Blessed. You know, we really are so blessed in this age of technology where it's so frustrating. We're feeling disconnected from each other because there's no deep relationships. It's also really freaking cool that I can get on and talk to Ross Jones and Marie Kelly and people from around the world. So I think that's cool.
Isn't it amazing?
It really
It is.
is.
It's fabulous. So you know what? It's a little after 10:30. Let's go ahead and get this party started. So you guys, thank you so much. Thank you so much for tuning in to Coffee with Krista. I am your host, Krista Sutton. And, you know, I am so incredibly blessed because I have this amazing circle of people in my life that I've been able to connect with. And my goal every single week is to be able to introduce you to people that I think you need to know. And so whether you're looking for information or inspiration or something in between, I do my very best every single week to make that happen. And this week is no exception. The fabulous, one and only amazing Sammi Tucker. And we are coming to you live, even though I've got her here online because you're in California. We are coming to you live from Chardonnay's Brew Lane here in beautiful Meridian, Idaho. So grateful every single week. Chardonnay lets me come and hang out, drink her coffee, hang out in her beautiful shop, and basically just disrupt everything. So I'm very blessed. She has become one of my absolute favorite people. Those of you that are here in Treasure Valley, if you haven't come to Chardonnay's Brew Lane, it's over on Progress Avenue, just off of 84 and Meridian Road. You've got to come down here. This is the best atmosphere in the whole wide world. So I promise you won't be disappointed. Please tell her that I sent you. And so with no further ado, oh my gosh, Sammi, we finally get to do this thing.
I know, yes. So,
we finally get to do this thing. I mean, this is like third time is a charm for us.
It really is. And so, I mean, it's a funny story why when Rafael Lopez and I were back in Boise and we were doing speaking at the Love and Romance Project put on by Jim and Marie Lukasic Wallace, the fabulous couple. You wanted me on your show and I was so excited about it. And then I had my niece put in hair extensions and we didn't order enough. So I ended up with like this half mullet thing for days, and there was just no way in hell I was going to go on live video with a half mullet. Or
yeah, and in all fairness, though, you were here at the coffee shop when we had Raph on the show, and it didn't look nearly as bad as you thought it did. But I totally get it. It's like, no, and I get it. I totally get it. So,
yeah,
and then
first world problems, right?
Last week, we were scheduled for Thursday and somebody got snowed in Wyoming. And so we had to cancel the show. So finally, thank you, Lord. Finally, today we get to hang out. So, oh my gosh, there are so many things that we could talk about today. And I know that you have a lot of your peeps are watching you, which is fabulous. But for the benefit of my people that may not know who you are, which I find that shocking, tell us a little bit about you. What do people need to know about you? Because, girl, your story, wow.
Oh, you know, we all have such a beautiful story. And I am one of those people that needed a real huge trauma to happen before I was able to look at, crud, my phone's low, so I may have to charge it at some point here. That's not a good way to prepare, right?
You know what? You're human. I'm human. I can't just. I'm dealing with camera angle here. I feel weird today. So it's all good. It's really all good.
So I know I have a plug-in somewhere here for my phone. I may have to jump up here in a second and plug it in. But
that's fine.
About me, I'm one of those people that was a little thick-headed, a very thick-headed, kind of like a granite boulder head, where I really needed a huge trauma for me to be able to disassociate from the story that I was telling myself, about the world and who I was and how I fit in that world and what the rules were and what the boundaries were and all of those things. I had these limited beliefs and these limited like theories about who I was and who I could be and what I was capable of doing and what the rules of the world were. And in 2010, thankfully, all of my beliefs manifested into a horrific motorcycle accident that allowed me to look at my life and go, oh, wow, wait a second. It gave me a moment of awareness where I could see myself for who I really was. And that didn't line up with my story. And I got to see myself as, wow, I'm an amazing, loved being, and I am one with God, and I am one with the universe, and I am infinite potential and possibility. And why, oh, why, oh, why did I go through 41 years of life letting other people define who I could be, letting my present and my future be absolutely controlled by my vision and my opinion and my memories of the past. And literally in that ditch, my brain was rewired. It's called post-traumatic growth. And there's a lot of scientific studies on what happens to an individual who experiences post-traumatic growth and near-death experiences, because that's what I had. And there is a literal rewiring of the brain, and I was able to rewire my experience and my definition, my relationship with the past. And it's a fascinating phenomenon that can also be intentionally done for individuals. And so I have moved into that market of, let's explore how our minds and our bodies collaborate together to reframe and define our reality. And how can we use how God has made us to our advantage to get more of what we want in life and less of what we don't. So that's a little bit about me in a nutshell. So I lost my arm, changed the way I looked at the world, started doing crazy, outlandish challenges to myself, one of which was to learn archery and shoot in the 2016 Paralympics. I did that. And now I am training for a triathlon. So I'm going to figure out how to swim in the ocean with one arm and do all of those things. And are you hearing feedback? Are you guys hearing feedback, guys?
I don't hear anything on my end. Those of you that are watching, are you getting any feedback from when either of us are speaking?
So I posted a question. Any feedback? Nobody is saying anything. Oh, there's some static.
Yeah, Vicky. Thanks, honey. Yeah, she said there's a little bit of static for her, and you are very quiet. I never hear that from me. No one ever says I'm quiet.
I'm gonna shut off my Bluetooth.
Okay, let's try that.
And just go from my phone. Is the audio better?
Here's the problem.
Huh?
Now we have double audio on my end. You can hear me twice.
Okay. I'm going to step away for a second and get my plug-in headphones. So take the scene, Christa.
I'm glad we're entertaining. Oh gosh, that double audio. We had that happen. When we had terrible. So I'm gonna not. Thank you for your patience.
Sorry about the chest shot there. Okay, so we've got that. Okay, is that better?
Oh, you're louder.
Is the double audio gone now?
Yes, it is.
Okay, great. I will make sure that I speak louder because I have my phone plugged in now. So
awesome. Okay, is it okay, Vicky? Is it still double? Because I don't hear it.
Okay, and now I don't hear Christa at all.
You don't hear me at all?
Okay, now I do. Yes, I was looking at my laptop and it's delayed, and you were speaking, and I couldn't hear it. So okay.
Okay, better. Okay, so we're good. Okay, so.
Okay.
Okay, so getting back to you, because one of the things, and you and I have talked about this several times, so I know this, and I think people need to hear pieces of this. When you talk about the day of your accident and that post-traumatic growth, Share with us a little bit about that shift and what it was and how that awareness showed up for you and how that affected you internally to help you move forward externally, if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. So forgive me if I tear up during this because it's still, even though it's been almost 9 years ago, it's still very intense. So I'm I'm laying in the ditch bleeding out. My arm has been basically ground off, and I had lived
And
most of
talk a
my
little
life.
louder because we can barely hear
Okay,
you, honey.
okay. Is this better? Okay, so it's still really emotional when I think back to that day, and I try to do it very, very frequently because of that fact. So I'm laying in the ditch, and my arm has been basically ground off. And I had spent most of my, well, all of my adult life with thoughts of suicide. I had tried to kill myself with drugs when I was 18. And the fascinating thing is I was laying in that ditch realizing that the thing that I had wanted most of my life was, to die and have the pain end, was actually happening. And I looked over my life, the 41 years, and I realized that I was leaving nothing but chaos and disorder. I didn't know how to love myself. I didn't know how to contribute to a loving relationship with others. I didn't let anybody in. Nobody knew me. I didn't like me. And so I was just going over all of my life, and I didn't see anything that I was really incredibly proud of. So I was laying there beating myself up. So that it was my normal pattern, talking horribly about myself and looking at my life going, man, 41 years and you've just wrecked this and wrecked that. And I was just, it was the normal narrative that was going on. The story was continuing, and then something happened. And it was a shift in how I saw everything. Like, it was a physical external shift. The air changed, the light changed, how the visuals changed. Everything was like a fractal beauty, and I just sensed a oneness with everything. Like where I started and where everything else started got a little bit blurry. And I heard a voice, and the voice said, "You are mine." And wow, when you're feeling like oneness with the universe, and then the divine says, "Hey, by the way, you're mine." It was such a loving, such an all-encompassing message and feeling that it pulled me out of my story. And I was like almost literally, probably quite literally, looking at myself from above, from without. And what I saw was completely different than the story that I had been telling myself. I was beautiful, and I was perfect, and I was loved, and most of all, I was worthy. I was worthy, Christa. How many people go through their life not feeling
Yeah.
worthy?
Amen.
And that realization changed everything about how I viewed myself in the world. And I got excited about life for the first time. I'm bleeding out, dying in the ditch, Christa. And now all of a sudden I'm excited for the first time. That doesn't make any sense, but it made beautiful sense at the
It
time, and it
actually
still
makes
makes
total
sense.
sense. It actually makes total sense though, because like you shared in the beginning, I mean, some of us and many of us have those aha moments and those times in our lives where, God, spirit bonks us over the head and says, "Hey kid, you're valuable. I love you. I have a purpose for you." And some of us need a much uglier wake-up call than others. And I think that's part of one of the many reasons I love you so much, is because I also had a gruesome, completely different, but equally impactful, "Hey kid, you've got value." And
Right.
it makes so much sense. So much sense.
And the beautiful thing is people, you don't have to get knocked over the head. You don't have to lose an arm. You don't have to go through something hugely traumatic
Yeah.
to have that shift. it
Amen.
goes down to being brave enough to do the things that you haven't done in the past that have got you to where you're at right now. So what are you doing today that you could do differently? So it's just it's being aware that what you're doing right now isn't getting you the results, so let's try something different. When somebody says, hey, do you meditate, do you journal, have you, do you exercise, what do you do to go within and quiet the noise? And people like, I don't want to do yoga, I can't meditate. And just get curious about it, because that's
Yeah.
the thing that okay, so I had this shift, but I got curious, Krista. I got curious about what could I do differently to produce different results. And that curiosity combined with a determination that my second half of my life is going to be freaking fabulous.
Yeah.
I left that ditch going, I don't know what any of this means, but it's going to be freaking awesome. And carrying that curiosity and that energy with me has produced a life that I'm absolutely in love with. And, not everything's perfect. I want people to know not everything's perfect. I still have relationships that are still not optimal. I have relationships that are still not even healthy. Um, but I'm trying to bring a healthy me to every relationship, and realizing that, hey, I can only do what I can do, and giving people love and grace and compassion.
Awesome. And
And
the relationship piece is so incredibly huge. I'm curious to find out how, because not just having that awareness of, you know, that curiosity, that awareness piece, but it also, the one thing that I noticed for myself personally was my circle changed
oh,
drastically.
yes.
What did you notice? I mean, the relationships that you were in this transition, what happened? What were some surprises, or what were some things that really helped you move forward?
That was one of the, Krista, and I'm so glad that you went there, because when you have an awakening, it causes a ripple effect that you can either ride with or you can push against. And one of the
Agreed.
things that I had to have a conversation with myself and the divine, and look at my life from so many different angles. And one of the first angles I had to look at was, who are my most influential peers? What's my inner circle? And so I got to look at them from like a disassociated, again, just kind of outside of myself, looking at these people with no judgment. And what I realized was the people that I was hanging around with had a lifestyle, and that I did no longer want to be a part of. They were great people. They had a value. They were not adding value to where I now wanted to go in my life. And that was not, some people think, God, that's really harsh and you're really judgy. And nope, nope, no, not at all. It's not harsh and it's not judgy, because you have to honor, you don't have to. When you allow yourself to honor people for who they are and where they're at in their life at the moment, but also step away and pull away and say, this is what I want for myself. And being in a group of people where this is how they're looking at relationships, and maybe the way they're interacting with people, and they're talking to their kids, and they're talking to their spouse, and they're talking to their kids, isn't in alignment with where I want to go, let them go. Because
And
when you
it's
let
perfectly okay to
those,
love people at a distance.
yes, one of the things that I love to say and share with clients and friends alike is, everybody has value. Not everybody adds value. Let that
Oh,
let that
that's
sink
good.
in. Let that sink in. Not everybody adds value. Everybody has value. So walking away from somebody that's not adding value to what you are creating, because we are active creators every moment of our day.
Yeah.
There is no passive engagement. There is no passive relationship. They are either actively adding to what you want to create in your life, or they are actively taking away from it. There's no neutral. So you get to sail your own ship. You are the captain of your ship. Who gets to be on board? Who are you taking with you? Are you taking people with you that want to sink that ship, or that want to propel it forward? And we're constantly weaving in and out of relationships. No
Yeah.
relationship is for every aspect of our life. But you have to be very cognizant and very aware. So that was the first thing I did. I took a freaking hatchet to my inner circle. And I spent a lot of time alone learning who I was, remembering who I was. Um, and it was the most healthy thing I could do because I got
Yeah.
to go inside and I got to learn to love myself and recreate myself and spend time with the divine and hear that perspective of who I was and who I am and who I could be and what my relationship was with the divine. And it was the most beautiful healing time, Krista. I don't know if you went through something like that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is.
It's,
For me, actually, how do I want to word this? Um, I would love to know. I think, and I've gotten to talk to so many people about that shift and that awareness and that awakening, that curiosity, when you have that shift, that moment, that experience that calls you to be who you were designed to be. There always seems to be in that journey, whether it's a moment or a season or a person, an experience where you know it's going to be okay. Does that kind of make sense? You just it's
yes.
the worry, even though you know you're moving forward, there's still that there can be that hesitation or the am I really doing this? Is this really happening? But then there's that moment or that season where you just know you're going to be okay. What did that look like for you?
It was a complete yielding and it happened in the ditch. I didn't know if I was
Wow.
going to live, but I knew that whatever was going to happen, it was going to be amazing. And then,
Nice.
as the hours and moments went on and eventually, it became clear that I was going to lose my arm and I was going to live and all those things. It's a continual yielding. There's a beautiful balance between discipline and release. And in the
Mm-hmm.
between is the flow and the beauty of life. So there's the discipline of what are we doing to keep ourselves centered and grounded, the discipline of meditation, the discipline of exercise, the discipline of journaling, the discipline of being aware of our emotions and our words and our thoughts on a moment by moment basis. And then the release of just trusting the universe that we are co-creating this life together and we don't have to know the whole plan. And I tell you
Right.
what, Krista, that's the biggest thing that I struggle with is remaining in that flow state of just trust. And then,
Yeah.
the ego wants to have a plan. The ego wants to know what are the next 10 steps. The ego wants to make sure that it's perfect before you do anything, which is why you do nothing. So getting something, Raphael and I were talking about that this morning, just getting something out that's not perfect is better than waiting for it to be perfect because that never happens. So there's that
Amen.
continual
Amen.
struggle. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, and we all have some element of perfectionism in us, and so that's the struggle. But that's also the beautiful release in knowing that, hey, I'm this seed and I'm not buried, I'm planted. And in order to bloom and give my life and my contribution to the world, this outer shell has to fall off and decay. And that's the ego, and that's all these limiting stories that we have, and these the
Mm-hmm.
titles that we think we should hold in order to be accepted and loved. And all of that is just such bullshit. Excuse the language, but it just is such bullshit.
It's total bullshit.
Yes.
So, oh my gosh, I just love that. I absolutely love that. Thank you for sharing that. So talk to us a little bit about what you and Raph have got going on because oh my gosh, you've got a podcast. You guys have got so many amazing things that are going on. Share, please, because
Yeah,
your
yeah.
people, if they don't already know, need to know, and my people definitely need to know because this is somebody, you guys, she's one of my mentors. This is someone I follow. This is somebody that I listen to and glean information and inspiration from. So let everybody know what's going on because this is awesome stuff, you guys.
Thank you, hon. That really means a lot to me. That's the reason that we all as individuals and as a collective push through the fear of sharing our truth. You know, when we have a truth to tell and we just feel like there are hands around our neck, and that struggle to release our truth, so worth it. And so, like, hanging out with people like you, that where we can talk about, yeah, there's this challenge to get our truth out, but we all have a story that the world needs to hear. And yeah, I've been really, really blessed. Raphael and I have we have very congruent missions in life. He is a he's a personal transformation coach. He is absolutely a miracle worker with couples. He's a miracle worker with helping women step into their feminine and men step into their masculine, and harmonizing those two, because we each have both. And so we are working together. We are releasing our first online program called the Passion Project for Couples. And it is
Nice.
going to be an intimate 6 to 8 week program where you're going to receive bite-sized instruction and real-life application for couples to work through. And it's a 6 to 8 week program, but it's delivered in a bite-sized format that to prevent the overwhelm. So every week we'll have one exercise that couples can do that will give them more insight into who they are, what their values are, what their communication style is, and also get them in a situation where they can exercise that together and learn what your significant other, how do they communicate? How do they relate with themselves? How do they relate with each other? Um, so many people come and they're like, I want a better relationship. Well, a relationship it's a verb, it's not a noun. It's the act of relating, and that takes an understanding of yourself and the understanding of the other person. And then how do you connect in a way that produces a relating ship that is healthy and beneficial to both? So we'll be seeding that out, and would love to have, our Boise peeps. One thing I love, everybody in Boise loves Raphael. So now when we come to Boise, we have to make time for his friends and my friends and our friends. Oh, he's just an amazing soul.
He
So I'm
is. I
excited
was
to share them.
so thrilled to get to have him on the show when you guys were here. That was so fabulous.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
loved it too. I
huge
just threw him under
response.
the bus. I was like, guess what you're doing?
That was so hilarious because, would he be willing to step in since you're not able to do the show? And you're like, yes. And then I find out the next morning before we go on, he's like, yeah, I just got told. And he loved it. He loved it. We had so much fun. He's just amazing. And he is so incredibly insightful. And what I really enjoy watching about the two of you, and which is why I'm really excited, the two of you working together and creating courses and doing live events, is the fact that you two are so yin and yang. I mean, just, and I also love, and for my gals out there who are going to appreciate this, many of us in our relationships, whether it's our spouse, our significant other, the traditional roles are almost kind of flipped. And so I know in my marriage, I'm definitely more the alpha in the relationship. My husband is very loving. He's very supportive. He's very nurturing. And it works very, very well for us. And I see that also with you and Rap. And so it's great to be able to see that dynamic in a couple and show people that it can work, and it works beautifully if you both honor your wiring, your masculine, your feminine, and how you show up and relate to one another. It's amazing to watch the two of you. I can hardly wait to jump into some of these things you guys are doing.
Yes, yeah, thank you. And he has taught me so much about what being feminine is and what being masculine is in both of the sexes. And he has he's like the Mississippi River. There's a deep power to him. Very
Oh
calm
yeah.
on the surface, but a deep power to him. And it's fascinating to continue to learn about how the masculine can be alpha in such a quiet, powerful way. It's just, there is no one size fits all. There's no one way that masculine looks. There are definite, traits to it. But it's been a fascinating exploration with him, and I can't wait to bring it to more couples. because what our modern society has touted as feminism and masculine and macho and all of these different definitions of what it is to be a man or a woman, when you start breaking those down and you just start getting congruent with what your soul is designed to do, without saying that we can only be one or the other, but we have these beautiful pieces to both of us, this yin and yang within ourselves, and honoring how that innately is designed in the individual is an incredibly brilliant process. And then you're just so congruent with who you are, and there's no struggle anymore. Yeah, I don't struggle anymore as much. There's always struggle, but I don't struggle as much stepping into my feminine and letting him be in his masculine. And I don't feel like a diminished person at all, like
Isn't
at
it one of the
all.
things that I think is so beautiful, and one thing that just in having conversations with the both of you is I absolutely love the way that both of you can explain it in different ways and connect with different personalities, but it still baffles me, even though I've fallen into it sometimes. It still baffles me that, as you know, our creator is so he has created so many different unique individuals. I mean, even twins have different fingerprints and act differently, and there's so much creativity in this universe and the way that God designed us. Yet, as a society, we put all these labels. We're so label conscious of masculine and feminine, and it means this and it means that, and it truly does mean different things and shows up differently within different individuals. And I really enjoyed my conversation with Raphael and the way that he explained it. And for the two of you to be able to partner and bring these groups together, whether they're live, because you're coming to Boise to do a live event, aren't you?
We are. We have not scheduled that yet. We are going to be back for the Love and Romance Project in September, and he and I are not
Awesome.
going to speak. We're going to do workshops. So
Oh, nice.
more hands-on. Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome, awesome.
Because
Well, when
people have
you
heard us
have
talk, but now we're
dates,
just going to give them a yes, yes.
oh, awesome. When you have dates, I'm actually starting, I think I'm going to do one today, if not tomorrow. I'm actually going to be going live on my business page and doing what I'm calling drive-through coffee. And it's an opportunity to just jump on live for a few minutes and be able to promote the people in my circle as they have events. Kimberly Hansen, the fractal artist who was my guest a couple of months ago, her book is now out. We're going to be doing a drive-through coffee with her either later today or tomorrow. So definitely, when you guys have got dates, please let me know so we can jump on and I can help get that thing promoted for you guys.
Absolutely. And
Awesome,
absolutely. And people
awesome.
can, join us for our passion project for couples. That'll give them a
Nice.
really great taste, and it's going to be foundational. So it doesn't matter where you are in your relationship, whether you're married, you're not, any coupling situation works, but we're teaching some foundational principles so that as you continue forward with any coach that you have some of the foundation, a strong foundation, so that you can build a strong house on it. Because everything is based on the structure and the integrity of the foundation. So that's what we're going to be teaching. And this is going to help you in every one of your relationships, because the most important relationship you have is with yourself, and give you some
Exactly.
foundational skills. And people, if you're in a relationship that is unhealthy and you're floundering and you don't know what to do, realize that you have not failed. You are not failing. You simply have not learned some skills that are required. That's all it is. It's an entry
Exactly.
into with courage and curiosity, just like you did as a kid. We learned our ABCs and how to read and write and arithmetic and English and science and all of these varied and vast, deep topics, because we were open to and we believed we could. Now, science has shown that we can create neural pathways and our neural elasticity clear to the day we die. That old adage of you can't teach an old dog new tricks has been proven false. Wherever you're at, you are just as capable of learning deeply and quickly and retaining it as you were when you were a kid. You just need to learn new skills. That's all. Stop beating yourself up. Stop saying that you can't and that you're not lovable enough and that you're not the kind of person who can have that kind of life or that kind of relationship. Those are all old stories that some other people put in your head. The new story is you can have
Mhm.
and do whatever you want. You are capable. And if you set your
Definitely.
mind to learning the skills, you can have it. Bottom line.
Awesome. So for those people who are interested in getting in touch with you to learn more about your program, how do they get a hold of you, my dear?
Facebook, Sammi Tucker Inspires. You can direct message me. You can email me at sammi@sammitucker.com. And I would absolutely love, while we're putting this together, to get flooded with questions from people about, all right, this is what I'm struggling with. How, this is what I would like to learn more. Throw it all at us and we can put together something that really, really serves your needs where you're at. We've got a great, foundation of what we're going to start with, but, we want to give people what they want. We know what people need, but we also want to give them what they
Awesome.
want. And if there are certain topics that show up as hot topics that a lot of people are asking, of course we're going to throw that in there because we want to meet you where you're at. So, and I do want to promote the
I love
podcast.
it.
Yes.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, and tell us about your podcast too.
Oh my gosh.
I'm so excited about that.
Yeah, in this journey, as I have learned to transform myself and learned to remember who I really am, I have been blessed to meet and talk with some amazing individuals. And so I just thought it would be really interesting to get online and start having some public conversations with people who are doing things that I find fascinating, that are pushing boundaries and exploring humanity, and elevating human consciousness. And so I have been blessed to have some really incredible first guests. My first guest, so I'm going to reveal it right here. I've teased it. But my first guest is Jim Britt, and he is one of the top personal peak performance transformation specialists in the world. He has worked with Tony Robbins.
Yeah, he's
And
awesome.
he's got 12 best-selling books. His novel called, let me see if I can remember it. He's got so many books, and I don't want to attribute the wrong book. It is, what is it? Shoot. It'll come to me. But he has a novel about his life that's being made into a major motion picture right now. So, he's just a fascinating individual. And he has, so we're going to be talking about the flaw in the law of attraction. Now, the law of attraction has gained so much popularity, with The Secret. And so when I started becoming aware of this law of attraction, I was like, what is this thing? And, so the general consensus is that we are all held subject to these universal laws. And one of the universal laws is what you think becomes things. Thoughts actually, and they're scientifically proven that our thoughts can manipulate matter.
Yep.
So our thoughts do become things. And so the theory is that what you think about, you bring about in your life. Now that is true. That is true, but there's a flaw in that approach that is literally causing people anxiety. Like, if that's what I'm supposed, I have the vision board, I have the journaling, I have the affirmations, and I've been doing this for a year and my life hasn't changed one iota. I am still frustrated. I'm still depressed. I'm still living in lack. What's going on? So he's going to expose that. He actually wrote a book called The Flaw in the Law of Attraction. We're going to talk about that. And
Awesome.
in every one of my episodes, there is at least one or two takeaways that people can use right then, every day, on the spot to get more out of life that they want. So I'm really, really excited. That'll be launching Sunday. I have James Sakalos coming on. He is probably in the top 1, 2, 3 neuro-linguistic programming trainers in the world.
Awesome.
He is just beyond amazing. And so we're going to be talking about NLP, and he is the creator of something called spiral somatics. And so we'll be talking about that. And it's a way to look at people and how they hold their head and their body to instantly be able to see what is motivating them, what are their beliefs, what are their attitudes towards things, so that you can build rapport instantly. What are they
Oh, I
doing to
love
get?
that.
Oh, I took the class with him, and Krista, it's phenomenal. This should be taught to kids. Where
Oh,
you can,
yes.
oh, yes, everybody. This is not for just change agents. This isn't for just coaches. Neurolinguistics programming and spiral somatics is for anybody who wants to get better results in their life, period. I mean, it's for everybody. So I'll be talking with him, and I've got some other friends. And I even talk with just average, everyday people who are just doing heroic things. I've got a friend who is an occupational therapist, a Chinese acupuncturist, and the primary caretaker for the love of his life, a beautiful soul who has MS, and it's in late stages. And the way he does life is fascinating to me, and his attitudes and the way he sees his role in the caretaking world and as a healer is amazing. And you're going to walk away from listening to that episode with such a deep respect for the struggles that we all go through and the beauty that can come out of that. And again, he's got a couple tips, a couple things that we can use right there on the spot. So it's called The Fascinated Life. And if you're into any of that, this is your show. And it's, I want people to comment and say, hey,
Awesome.
do you know anybody that talks about X or Y or Z? And, see who I can track down.
Oh my gosh,
So
I
yeah, I'm
absolutely
really, really excited.
love that. Oh, I'm so excited. I can hardly wait. Oh my gosh, thank you so much for coming and hanging out with me today. This has been so amazing.
Thank you. It's been fantastic.
Could you do me a favor, my beautiful friend? Would you, when we wrap up, would you go ahead and post the links in the comments below so people can reach out to you? I think my beautiful Kimberly Davies posted your website. But if you would, links to your Facebook page, your podcast, more information on the online course that you and Raf are going to be doing, as well as any live things that you're going to be doing. That way people can access it instantly. That would be absolutely fabulous. So I appreciate you spending time with me today.
For your listeners, if they want a free 45-minute strategy session to, let's pinpoint what's going well in your life, what's not working so well in your life, and make a plan to get you there. So I'll put a link in for that to any of your listeners. They can schedule a strategy session with me, and we can just explore and see what we can do to up-level your life and get you more of what you want, because you don't have to lose a hand to figure out how freaking amazing and powerful you are. It's
oh my gosh. I agree. I'm so excited, you guys, because I have the link. I've got to get mine scheduled too, because
I know.
I know, it's like I haven't forgotten. I just need to get mine scheduled. So, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Thanks again. Oh wow, and Vicky's linking all your stuff in here too. So you probably won't have to do anything, honey. It looks like my peeps are doing it for you. They're pretty fabulous.
That's great. And the Instagram is The Fascinated Life. So maybe she can put that link in there too. Yep, it's just called The Fascinated Life. I'm going to house it on YouTube initially, and then I'll have it added to my website. But YouTube, The Fascinated Life will be active on Sunday when it goes. So that's where I'll upload everything.
Awesome.
And there's a Facebook page called The Fascinated Life. So yeah.
It's going to be fabulous. So thank you again, my dear. You guys, thank you so much for tuning in and hanging out with us. Of course, we are here, or at least I am here, live at Chardonnay's Brew Lane. Thank you, Chardonnay, for being such an amazing sponsor, letting me come and hang out here every week and cause all kinds of chaos and disruption, because that's what I do in a really good way. I'm really excited, you guys. So here's the thing. My guest next week, we're going to be doing a special edition of Coffee with Christa. I don't have the exact time. I do know it's going to be on Monday, but I am going to be flying out of here with my sister on Saturday. We're going to go to Phoenix, where we're going to be hanging out with our brother and our parents, and doing a family memorial for my grandmother, who passed away on the 25th of February. And my brother happens to be Dr. Darren Peppard. Yes, my brother is Dr. Peppard. How cool is that, right? And he is the superintendent of West Grand School District it has a big old long name to it, and I'm going to screw it up. But my brother is the superintendent of one of the school districts in Colorado, and he lives in Hot Sulphur Springs, and I think it's the Kremling area. And he is a mover and a shaker and a major innovator in our education system. He has implemented systems in his former school district that earned him the title of 2016 secondary educational principal of the year in the state of Wyoming. And super proud. I mean, hey, he's my little brother, but he's an influencer. He's a rock star. I shared his blog the other day on my page, and he's going to be my special guest. So I get to do a live interview with my little brother, who's like 3 inches taller than me, but still. So stay tuned. I promise I'll post the time. I'm not quite sure of that yet, but I will make sure and let everybody know. Also, just one last thing I want to let you guys know before we log off. Those of you that are a part of my tribe, the Get Off the Damn Hamster Wheel tribe, those of you that took advantage of the 5-day free challenge, you guys, here's the thing: the 6-week online course. For those of you that got a lot of information, you're still struggling, maybe you were on the fence, I have opened up 3 spots. So there are 3 spots available still in the 6-week online course. For those of you that want to take advantage of it, you can private message me for the link. You can find the link also on the 5-day challenge page. And you can also find it for those of you that are a part of the GOTDHW tribe membership page. You can check that out, 7-day free trial as well. So I wanted to make sure you guys knew about that. And with that, you guys, thank you again, Sammi. Virtual hug. I love you so much. So from the amazing Sammi Tucker, the beautiful Chardonnay Juarez, and myself, Christa Sutton, here at Chardonnay's Brew Lane, you guys, thanks so much for tuning in. Appreciate you guys. And as always, go be blessed in your success. Bye, guys.